Greetings and welcome to Spirit Island with Jonathan. Today we are playing Base Shadows versus Scotland 6. And this is going to be the last matchup with these base spirits. It might not be the last game, but it will be the last matchup. And we are not going to play with extra difficulty. Last time, hilariously, we accidentally turned on this option, and that makes the fear go from 454 to 565 in the case of England, making that game a lot more harder than it should have been. But we don't need that extra difficulty now, because this is difficult enough, I think, with the 664 fear cards. And this is going to be challenging. Not only has he a lot of fear here, but he is also quite aggressive with his extra blight and stuff, and that will make it challenging for shadows. Let's make a random board and let's get started with this.
Initial explore, jungles.
So we got a jungle explore, and that is kind of fortunate because we can now put a ravage here in land 2 and get rid of those cities right from the start. So that is what I want to see. And we do have 4 Dahan here, so we can play Favors Call to View this turn into Concealing Shadows. So let's do that.
Turn 1, grow phase.
From the bottom track, of course, and let's get rid of this town.
Play powers.
So we will play Favors and Crops Wither.
Fast powers.
And we can take care of that build with our innate. This looks very similar to the other games. We basically do the same start here with shadows. Where do we want him? We don't want to put him in here, because then we won't outnumber them when we do Crops Wither. So let's push him somewhere, maybe in here. And let's continue.
Build jungles. Explore mountains. Slow powers.
And we can replace him to fear. And we can gather our Dahan in here.
Turn 2, grow phase.
And now we will continue our plan here. Let's add another presence, get some energy, and we'll play Concealing Shadows and Mantle of Dread. Now, I think what we did last time worked pretty well. Let's open up the top track and let's go for a major next turn. I think that is better than try to destroy a lot of explorers. So we will add him in here to save an energy. We can play Concealing Shadows here.
Play powers.
Let's play these.
Fast powers.
Here we get 1 fear and we save those Dahan. And where do we want to play our innate? We have a build coming up here, so we probably want to move this in here. And he can die in the Ravage. So that is the innate, and then Mantle of Dread we can play in the slow phase.
Event.
Years of Little Rain. Well, this is a very good event if we have the energy, which we do have in this case, which means we can add another presence here, and I think we'll do that. We will get 3 energy then, so that should be worth it, definitely. So let's pay for this cost 4 energy, and we do not have any water, so we have to pay all our energy, but we can add then this presence to one of the lands with Dahan, and that's there. So excellent. And then each beast deals 2 damage, nothing happens there, and then during Ravage in every land, defend 1 per Dahan in the land. That doesn't really matter.
Fear.
And then we have each player removes 1 explorer from a coastal land. That doesn't really matter either.
Ravage jungles.
So he ravages here, he will add a blight here. We will die, and we will have 1 extra blight in the coast because of exports fuel. No, not because of that, but because of runoff and bilge water. And then the Dahan doesn't die because of Concealing Shadows, and the cities dies, everything dies. And then we have Exports Fuel Immersed Growth. We should add a town here, but it's not adjacent to any building, so we can just continue.
Build mountains.
Town here.
Explore wetlands.
And he explores. There will be a town instead of an explorer, and this land he doesn't reach, and then we have an escalation. Add one town to the land with the fewest towns. So we can choose which land we want the town in. We are going to play Mantle of Dread. We could, if we wanted, we could add it here and push it in here. I think that is what I'm going to do. So just to minimize number of lands with invaders.
Slow powers.
To fear, and we can push him in here.
Turn 3. Grow phase.
So now we are at turn 3 and it is time to look for a major. So let's look at this first and then we can decide where we want the presence and where from. So let's grab a major. So we have Unrelenting Growth, Weave Together the Fabric of Place, Winds of Rust and Atrophy, and Paralyzing Fright. Now, this is a good card if we can get the threshold, but that means 3 earth. Do not have any earth, unfortunately, but we could fetch for some miners and try to get that threshold. If we get that threshold, this is a really good card. It's good even without the threshold, I think, but now this is also a good card. We get some defend here, and we can replace cities and also one fear. And I got this card before, not many matches ago. I got this card and it kind of worked actually. I like this card. And we do need defense here at this moment, so I think we can play it. We can even play this one if we want. We can add presence here and play that one also. What about this guy? This can make us grow, but it doesn't do anything else. That is a bit slow. Don't think we have time to play that. Weave Together might be good, but it is the problem with this card. It doesn't really remove anything, does it? It just controls stuff, and we kind of need to either remove, replace, or get some fear. It will remove if we have the threshold, but that will be difficult. That is 4 card plays. That's not going to happen. So let's take this, I think. This is also very tempting, but this is a little bit more useful from this turn. For this turn, we have a Ravage coming up here, and that will save the Dahan and kill the towns. So let's forget something, and I think we'll forget Concealing Shadows. It has done its work, and now it's not that useful anymore. Let's add a presence. And let's think, do we want 4 energy or 3 card plays? For this game, we probably want to look for miners. So let's do that. Let's add this, let's add it here so that we get a sacred site here.
Play powers.
And let's play this.
Fast powers.
Let's play it here. 1 fear, and let's replace 1 town. And that should be it.
Event.
Promising Farmlands. When exploring once per board, place 1 town instead of 1 explorer. On each board, add 1 beast to a land without blight that has town. Let's add it here then. Because this is going to be taken care of, well, probably we'll have some explorers left here, so that could be an option. But I think let's focus on the coast where he's strong. During Ravage, in every land defend 1 per Dahan in the land. So we have some extra defense here. We don't really need it. 2, 4, 6 damage incoming here. We have defense 6 already. But now we have some extra defense then.
Fear.
Flee from dangerous lands. On each board, push 1 explorer town from a land with badlands, wilds, Dahan. We do not have any wilds or badlands, but we do have Dahan, so we have to push 1 explorer town here. It doesn't say may, so we have to do it. So let's push an explorer in here. Defend 1.
Ravage.
Doesn't matter.
Mountains.
Everything dies but 1 explorer. After Ravage action adds, well, nothing here. After the Ravage step, add 1 town to an inland land that matches the Ravage card and is within 1 range. That should be here.
Build. Wetlands.
So he builds here.
Explore. Mountains.
So we have a mountain explore. When exploring once per board, place 1 town. So we have to place a town here. And nothing here. He doesn't reach it. And then we have an escalation. And that means we have to add a town to the land with the fewest towns. So where do we want to add it? Let's see. He is going to build in. He's going to ravage in wetlands and build in mountains. We probably want to keep the buildings away from the inlands here, so maybe we'll add it here, where we also have the Han.
Turn 4. Grow phase.
So we are at turn 4 and it's time to reclaim, and let's first find a miner here. So we have some interesting miners. These have moon and fire, and these have the elements we need for Winds of Rust. And I think actually I got this combination last time, or maybe some games ago, and I could repeat that Winds of Rust and Atrophy. I think the Rain of Blood was exactly the miner that I got. I think this could be a good combo. If we have this together with Favor Calls Due, we should have the Threshold. Or really we just need... No, we need another water, right? Yeah. So we will need this one and another water, then we can get the Threshold here. But that should not be too difficult to find, I think. For next turn, maybe we can play growth option 2, get a water miner.
Play powers.
And get this going here. Now, do we want to play this turn then? Because if we can do it the other way around, we can gain a power card, get a water miner, and then we can play this together with that miner and repeat this. Now we only have 1 Ravage coming up this turn, so maybe we'll let him blight for this turn. Of course we will get a blighted island and we'll get 2 blights here, but I think that might be worth it. Instead, let's play these 3 then. We can set up a counterattack next turn in the mountain. This is blighted unfortunately, but we can defend, right? Yeah, so let's do that. Let's move those Dahan in here, set up a counterattack here, and we should be able to play this in a slow phase, right? For Dahan in here, we will build a city, and then we can counterattack him. And that also means we'll get some fear here.
Fast powers.
So with this innate, we want to prevent that build. Let's gather him in here and kill those explorers.
Event.
And we are at stage 3, urbanization. In each land with at least two towns, replace 1 town, half the town, with cities. So that means this will become a city. Invaders do not ravage in lands with disease or strife. Okay, on each board push 2 Dahan from a land with city to a land without. We do not have any Dahan in cities, so let's move on.
Fear.
Angry mobs. Each player may replace one town with 2 explorer, 1 fear per player who does. So which one do we want to replace? Let's see here. We will have town now building up, and we will have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can take care of everything with those. The Han, we do not want to exchange that. Then we will have 4 invaders. So I think it will be either this guy or this one. He will ravage here. That will not matter. So maybe this one. Let's replace this with 2 explorers and 1 fear.
Ravage. Wetlands.
Here we will have a blight. Before doing anything else, let's look at the blight card. Tipping point. Immediately destroy 3 presence from each spirit. Yikes. Okay, so this one for sure. And then we want to keep our sacred site somewhere. It will be important for this. Let's keep this sacred site so that we have a sacred site near all these lands. That means we might want to remove this explorer, this presence and this presence. Yeah. Okay, so that was the first blight, and now we have another blight coming in here because of runoff. And then what else? After the ravage step, add 1 town to inland that matches the ravage card. That should be 1 town here.
Build mountains.
1 town here.
Explore jungles and wetlands.
And now we have towns instead of explorers in the coast. And then we have an explorer here and 1 explorer here.
Slow powers.
So that was a lot of buildings popping up there. Let's see what we can do with our powers. First, we want to gather those in here. That will give us 3 fear. And then we want to replace something. We do not have anything else but this one to replace. And then we have Mantle of Dread giving us 2 fear. And we are moving up into terror level 2. And then we can push something here if we want. I guess we can push this explorer or one of these. Do we want to push something in here? We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 6 defense, but this also replaces something with something. So it will have 6 offense here. So we could move 1 more in if we wanted to. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can kill him, so I think it's worth it. So let's move that explorer in here, and that will prevent the build.
Turn 5. Grow phase.
So this turn, let's see if we can find that water minor card. Surely we can get 1 minor power with the water. We actually got 4 minor powers with water. So which one do we want? We actually need air also, I see here. We need 3 air, so let's take this one then. And we should be able to play this turn. And we want to add from the top track so that we have energy. Let's make another sacred site here. So we have better access with sacred site. Both this and the innate need sacred sites.
Play powers. Fast powers.
So this one we can repeat. We can get 1 fear and defense 6 here, replace 1 city with a town. So where do we want to repeat it? We probably want to repeat it here, maybe. Move that city or town he's going to build here. So maybe it's better to replace that town. That's actually quite a common scenario where you can decide, do you want to remove the city or do you want to remove the town? And if in case that he is going to build, it's usually better to remove that town. And we will end up with less explorers after he builds that way. Now he will build a town, and we will have 2 towns, 1 explorer and 1 city. If instead we replaces this, and then he builds, we will end up with 1 city and 3 towns. And that is worse, strictly worse. So that could be a good thing to keep in mind. Sometimes it's better to remove the town. Let's do that, and we should get 1 fear for that also. We have repeated this one, and then we can defend 2. And I think, can we prevent that build? We can gather up to 2 explorers. We'll still have 1 explorer left. I think it might not be worth it to try to do that. Let's just add 2 more defense in here, just in case he will get some extra attack or something.
Event.
Invested aristocracy. We are at stage 2. After the ravage step on each board, if no blight was added, add 1 town to the highest numbered land with no invaders. That is likely going to happen, that we do not add a blight, so we need to keep that in mind, that we are going to add a town here then. Prey on the heedless. In each land with beast, 1 damage per beast. Let's kill those explorers. On each board, add 1 Dahan to a land with 2 or more Dahan.
Fear.
Dahan and Heartened. Fear level 2. Each player chooses a different land. In chosen land, gather up to 2 Dahan and 1 damage if Dahan are present. And so we can kill an explorer here, or we can start working on one of these. This is going to ravage next turn, and we do have defense. So let's add a Dahan in here and kill 1 explorer. Each player may place 1 town with an explorer in the coastal land.
Ravage. Mountains.
So this will take care of these. We will have 3 fear from that, and then what else? After the ravage step on each board, if no blight was added, add 1 town here. And then after ravage step, add 1 town to the inland land. That should be here. And also here. But this we can, this is a situation where we can choose in which order this happens, after the ravage step and after the ravage step. So we can choose that this happens first, and then this town wasn't there, so then we do not have to add it here. And then we can choose that this adds here from the invested aristocracy. In all cases where we have a choice, where we have the same thing happening, we get to choose the order. So that's good to know. I think that is how it works. I hope so. And now let's move on to build phase.
Build. Jungles and wetlands.
So he should build here, a town, and a city.
Explore. Coastal lands.
And here we need to add 2 towns and 1 explorer due to trading port. So where do we want the explorer? Let's see, we will have defense 6 here. If we do this again and repeat it, we can defend 2 lands. This will ravage in wetlands and jungle. And if we make a town here, if we explore with a town, we will have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but 1 less because we will replace something here. So that will be 7 damage with 6 defense. So that's okay. We can add a town here. We still do not have it. We don't have to have it blight. What about here? We can add a town. 2, 4, 5, 6. That's okay. So yeah, I think we'll do it like this. Towns here and an explorer here. That way we can defense 2 here eventually with this guy when he's going to ravage in the coast. We will build once, and then ravage, we will have defense 2. If we build a town here instead, we will build a city here. That's not as good.
Slow powers.
Rain of Blood. This is basically just 3 fear. Since there are plenty of places with 2 invaders.
Turn 6. Grow phase.
So we are at turn 6 and this is starting to look a bit ugly here. We will have 2 ravages, 3 ravages coming up here, which will add blight. We can defend 2 if we want with this guy. I probably have to do it because this will add 3 blight each. And that is loss because we only have 4 blight left here. So let's reclaim, let's get a miner. Let's see what we have here. Domestic animals is always good. We also have moon and fire for the innate. And it is defense. Gather blight could be good, and some removal. I think we will take this one. But I don't think we'll play it now, because I think we have to play these guys again. Just to get the threshold of this, so we can defend both of these. Also have this to defend. I'm not sure which one is best to defend here.
Fast powers.
One thing at a time. Let's do this again. 1 fear. Let's add 6 defense here and let's replace this town with an explorer. Same reason as before. He's going to build here. So let's just make him build a town instead of a city. And then what about entracing operations? Well, first we have a repeat of this, of course. Let's see, do we want to add it here? Or do we want to add it here? This has good range here, so we can defend either one. If we play it here, we can replace that city with a town. And that could be useful because we are soon going to hit level 3. There's just 4 fear cards left here. And we have 3 fear coming in here and 1 more from this. So that means we are kind of close. So we want to remove as many cities as possible. But this is going to be a problem here. He is going to add 3 blight here if that is not defended. We can defend 2, but will that be enough? We will get blight here also. Unless we defend here and let him blight here. Or we can hope. Let's see, we have 2 fear cards here at level 2 and we have an event. We have 2 presence and we have a Dahan. And if we add 2 more defense here, maybe that will be enough so that he doesn't blight us. I think we'll try that. And we will instead repeat Winds of Rust here. 6 defense and we can replace him. And this one we play here, defend 2. Even if he blights, that's 3 blight, we will survive. I think that might be the best action.
Event.
Eager explorers. No, xenophobia. When ravaging in lands with the Han, each individual invader does -1 damage to the land and +1 damage to the Han. What does that mean for this case? He will do -1 damage to the land, so that's 2 damage to the land and a lot of damage to the Dahan. So the Dahan will die, but we do have defense 2, so I think that means we will survive here. Barely. Push up to 2 explorer or 1 town from a land with beast. So we can do that here or here. I think this might be a good candidate to push away a town. He will ravage their next turn. And we have to defend. We'll build and then defend. So let's move this one in here. That effect, and at their gates demanding redress. 2 fear per land with Han and cities. That doesn't happen anywhere. So let's remember this effect.
Fear.
Panicked by wild beast. Each player adds 1 strife in a land with or adjacent to a beast. Invaders skip their normal explore and build in lands with beast. So that means he will skip in this land. He will not build here. Adds a strife with or adjacent to. So let's see, we don't want to add it here, it will just be removed, and same thing here, it will just be removed. This is already clear. So let's add it here somewhere. We can also add it here. But he will ravage here for the same reason. We don't want to add it here, it will just be removed. So let's add it here.
Ravage. Jungles and wetlands.
Well, before we go there, we had one more fear card. Tread carefully. Each player may choose a land with Han or adjacent to at least 3 Han. Invaders do not ravage there this turn. Okay, so this is saved again. Let's make him not ravage here. That will save the Dahan.
Ravage. Jungles and wetlands.
So he does not ravage here, nothing here. This is defended, and this is defended. When ravaging in lands with Dahan. So this does not have Dahan, so these are not affected. And this is not ravaging at all. And what else? After ravage, this does not apply, and then we have this add 1 town to each inland adjacent. That is there and there.
Build coastal lands.
And then he skips build in lands with beast, so he only adds a city here and a town here.
Explore jungles.
And now we have an escalation and an explorer. An explorer is a town, an explorer. And then we have panicked by wild beast. Invaders skip the normal explore and builds in land with beast. But escalation is not a normal build. This is just an add. So we have to add a town here. I mean, we could add it here also, but this would not be advisable, I think.
Slow powers.
And now we have Rain of Blood. That should be 3 fear.
Turn 7. Grow phase.
So we are at turn 7, and it still looks really ugly. We are having we have 3 ravages coming up again, and we cannot let him ravage here and here. But this land 6 defense will not even be enough. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And but this is okay. And this we can defend too with this guy. So let's reclaim, let's get a miner. I don't think we have a choice. Sky stretches to shore, has an air and water which we can use. And this also together with this guy. Do we want fast power or do we want fear? I think this is useful because we can play this one in the fast phase then. And this is fast power now suddenly. And this is what we need. We need to win by eliminating all cities. This is good because it has fear, but I think this is slow, right? And we cannot use it instead of that one because we need defense 2 here. We cannot use this either. So the question is, what do we want to use next turn? And I think next turn we only have the fast power to consider. So let's take Sky Stretches. So next turn we could, if we want, play this one instead of that. Then we only have 2 ravages.
Play powers.
But for now we kind of have to play this.
Fast powers.
And it's kind of forced what I have to do here. I have to add 2 defense here. Then we have to repeat this. 2 fear. 1 from the first and 1 from the repeat. And we need to play them here. And this one is going to be replaced by a town. And this is the question, what do we want to do here? I think for this case we want to replace the city, because he would build a city either way. So let's just remove as many cities as possible. So that was that, and this is slow.
Event.
So this is not enough defense here, so we need something to save us here. No bravery without numbers is not applicable because we are at stage 3. Courage of the crowd. Invaders do not ravage in lands unless there are more invaders than the current terror level. Ravage actions do +2 damage per land. That is not good. Then it means... No, it's kind of good because this will not ravage here, so that doesn't matter here. Here it does matter. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 damage, but we have 6 defense, so it doesn't really matter here either. But this will ravage and blight us. That's 3 blight. We will survive though. What else? In each land with beast, 1 damage per beast. So that means he won't ravage here either then, because he needs 3 invaders. But that doesn't really matter. Leave the hostile land in each land, push 1 Dahan per badland disease to lands without. That does not happen.
Fear.
Immigration slows. Fear level 2. Skip the next normal build. The build card remains in place instead of shifting left. So that is actually quite fortunate, because he will not build cities here then. But that also means we will have a double ravage here coming up in a couple of turns. So let's try to end this game as soon as possible.
Ravage. Coastal lands.
So invaders does not ravage here and here. He will ravage here and kill us. So that's 1 blight here. 1 is dying. First we get 1 blight from that runoff, and then we get cascade. And let's not add it here. We kind of have to add it here. So that's the ravage and nothing else.
Build. Jungles.
So he will not build, he will skip the next normal build. The build card remains in place. And so that's it, nothing else.
Explore. Mountains and jungles.
So now he explores, and we have town, explorer, and an explorer.
Slow powers.
And now we have 3 fear.
Turn 8. Grow phase.
So this is very similar to the last game. We have no more cities now, and we just need a couple of more fears. We need 6 more fear. Can we get 6 fear in the fast phase? Well, if we can, we probably will survive 1 more turn. Even though we have only 1 blight, we can survive because we do not have any ravages. But if he is allowed to build, he will build twice here. That's 2 cities, and he will build twice here. That's 1 city and 1 town, and then he will build a city here and a city here. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 cities coming up here. So we really need to try to win now, before it is too late. So the question is, can we do that? We need 6 fear. We have sky stretches, so we can make this fast. That's 3 fear. We can play this twice. That's 2 fear. If we play this, this, and this, so that should be 5 fear. Can we get more fear if we play the innate? We will have 2 fear here if we get the threshold. This is one fear, but the other one is slow. We could try to gain a major here. To get some fast fear, we have this one. Can make something fast that could be useful. How many fear do we need? We need basically, we have one fear here and whatever we get for the major. So if we take this option, let's assume we take this option, we will get 5 energy and 1 major. We will use these two, or we might not use this if we get enough fear from the major. But then we need basically 6 fear from 1 major. That is risky. Or we can just get 5 fear from this combo. Can we squeeze out 1 extra fear somehow? Can we play both this and Sky Stretches and Rain of Blood? That's not possible. I think we will go with the 5 fear and then hope we will get something from the event or the fear cards. You can get fear from the fear cards and you can easily get fear from the event also. We only need 1 fear. If that doesn't work, can we win? We will have 2 cities here, 1 city here, 1 city here, 1 city here. We can remove nothing because this is used up already in the fast phase. But that means we can downgrade this guy, so we have 1 less fear here, 1 less city here. We can downgrade 1 more, but that doesn't really help us. So we'll have 4 cities, and we can only remove 2 cities per turn. We'll play this guy, but we don't want to play it now because we want as much fear as possible. Or we do this and hope that, because we don't really need this turn. We don't have any ravages, so we don't need the defense. So we could play Sky Stretches, Rain of Blood, and Crops Wither. Or we can just play Rain of Blood, Crops Wither, and something else that gives a lot of fear. Maybe Favors Cold Dew or something. And just hope that we get enough fear. This is 3 fear, 3 fear, 2 fear. Might as well play maybe this one and get the threshold. And we get 3 fear from that also, same as this one. Oh, I think it's too risky to let him build. Let's try to win in the fast phase. Let's reclaim. We get 1 more shot here to get a fear card. So that's probably what we should do. We should get a major here or a minor. And see if we can get some fast fear. What is best then? Is it best with a minor or major? If we get a minor, it kind of have to work together with these. To get, this is 2 fear, this is 3 fear, if we have the threshold here. If we take a major and we get some fast fear that can go together with this, make it fast, then we need basically a cheap power that does not cost more than 3 energy. And we need basically 6 fear. Can we get a major with 3 energy or 4 energy fast, which gives us 6 fear? Or is it bigger chance to get a minor? It's very difficult. I think we'll try with a major here, because if we can get a slow major that do some damage, give some fear, we could play it together with Sky Stretches and end the game. And if that doesn't work, we can play these other 3. Let's try that. This is too costly. This could work. Add 1 beast, gather up to 1 beast. For each beast, the invader skip 1 action. I think that might be too little fear though. This then is too expensive. And that one is too expensive. So that didn't work. This is the only one that I kind of maybe can play, but it's not enough fear. It's just 2 fear basically. Can we get the threshold here? Might be able to get the threshold, but this is 0 cost. But we don't have any other 0 cost mountain. No, so we don't have enough energy for that. So let's not get any of these, I think. But if we want to get something, we should probably get something that we can play next turn. Now we will use 3, 4 energy. That's everything. So we will only have 0 energy, plus 3, plus 4. Maximum 8 energy. We can actually play Draw towards the Consuming Void next turn, and we can not make it fast though, because this is also 1 energy. We could make this fast. That's 3 fear and 5 damage in the fast phase. That is not a fear. Let's take Pillar of Living Flame. And let's forget something. We want to forget something like that, I think.
Play powers.
We are going to play this guy, and this guy.
Fast powers.
Now we can repeat this. We can repeat it. First we can remove this guy. 1 fear. And then we remove 1 more. Where do we want to remove it? Somewhere here. Probably here. That's 1 more fear. And then we can make this fast. And that should be 3 more fear. So we are 1 fear from winning. We need something good here now.
Event.
And let's see. Blight spreads. On each board add 1 blight to a land adjacent to a land with blight. We can prevent that. And we have to prevent that because we do not have any blight left. So we are down to 1 presence. Each beast generates 1 fear. So there we have the win. I knew it would work. 2 more fear. Because we have 2 beasts. And we also had some fear card. Let's check them out and see if these add some fear. Perhaps each player adds 1 strife. That would not give us any fear. And this would also not give us any fear. So yeah, so that was kind of lucky. The event worked for us there, but that was very close. I think if we did not get that fear, I'm not sure if we could have pulled through, because so many cities, and then the Explorer will add so much, and then we will have this super ravage, and I don't think we could remove all those cities in the fast phase. Well, maybe with Pillars of Living Flame, but no, probably not. That's just 1 land, and we would have to remove all the cities. And we can only play this twice. So yeah, that would have been game over, I'm quite sure. But we managed to do it with the event. So that's it for this spirit and for all base spirits. Thank you for watching and see you next time.